So it is October 31st, and Karen and I are up here at the beautiful Leconte Lodge on the top of Mount Leconte, and we're just getting away for a day or two just to, I think, recharge our batteries. We're not making a video or anything really of the hike up here. We've made one before. I'll put a link to it at the end of this video if you want to see it. I think it's a really good video, but really we wanted to get up here just to get away and recharge. We've kind of made it a habit. I think we started backpacking together in 2019 or 2020, one or the other, of getting away on October 31st and doing some kind of hike. And we kind of lucked out on this one, didn't we?
Yes. We were on the waiting list, the cancellation list, so.
And so.
Got an email, I jumped at it.
Really, like I said, just to get away, getting in nature recharges us and reconnects us just with God and His creation. And the last few years have been really, they've been tough.
I think this year.
Yeah.
Last year we're kind of like in just survival mode.
Yeah.
With all the changes and then.
Yeah, in the fall of 2022, I left my job in the paint store and started pastoring a church full time into 2023, and that was a good thing. But at the same time, anytime you're dealing with people, it gets to be stressful. I think it looked like a great opportunity, and it has been. Mm-hmm. But like I said, anytime you're ministering to people or dealing with people, we're all broken, fallen people with problems, and so that has its own set of problems. I guess it was April when you found out that
I just went for a routine mammogram, not expecting anything, and I was gonna put it off again. Don't ever put off your
God kind of works all things together for the good. If I hadn't started this new job and we changed insurances, you probably wouldn't have done it. Last year she had 2 surgeries, one which she shouldn't have had to have, but they didn't do everything they were supposed to do in the first surgery, which was also take some lymph nodes, and they didn't, so she went back for a second surgery, and then 6 weeks of radiation.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with ER positive, that's estrogen positive, almost 100%.
It was 100%
and it was
estrogen driven.
1C, stage 1C, which is awesome if you're gonna get it. But it wasn't even supposed to be that. It wasn't even supposed to be invasive. It was just supposed to be just
in situ.
Yeah, just inside
which
the milk
means it was
duct.
all contained in a milk duct. But then after the surgery, we found out it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so they had to go back and take lymph nodes in a second surgery, and it was in one of the lymph nodes. So
I did have a double mastectomy because I just knew I needed to have that. But anyway, it was tough, but could have been worse.
When we get out in nature, it really recharges us because it really connects us back to the Lord, and we are followers of Christ, and that is a real important part of our lives. And when we started this channel, we really started it for 3 reasons. I was going to say 2 reasons, but it was 3 reasons. Really, so our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren would know us and be able to see us before we got to be ancient.
Yes.
My thoughts of my grandparents were they were all really, really old, and I never knew them when they were younger. So it'd be something for them to look back and say, hey, that's what grandmother and grandfather were like before they, were really old. And then 2, we wanted it, to be something that would be really an encouragement to people that can't get out and do the kind of things we can do. And we won't be able to do them forever. We know that. Is that a squirrel? No, it's a bird.
It's a red squirrel.
Is that a squirrel?
Yes.
It seems
they
like
always do that.
Every time we're hiking someplace or backpacking, there's a squirrel in a tree fussing at us.
They're so loud.
But anyway, getting back to the second reason, there's a lot of people that simply they're too old to do it anymore, or they have some kind of disability that limits them from being able to get out in God's creation out in the backcountry.
Or encourages people to try their own adventure.
That
they're
was another reason too, is sometimes people are a little bit older or even younger, and they're afraid to try something new. I remember I challenged Karen, let's just do, I mean, we've done a lot of hiking, but I challenged her, let's do one backpacking trip and just see if you like it. And we went to a place called Sand Beach Lake in the Rocky Mountain National Park, which was just a tremendous hike. It was a hard hike for our first backpacking trip, but it was way out there and beautiful place. And I think she kind of fell in love with it. So we also want to encourage people that are a little bit older, you know, boomers like us, to get out there and have their own adventure.
Start small and
Yeah.
you might just fall in love with it.
Yeah, and that's what we've kind of done. We just got back from Glacier where we did 6 days, 48 miles of backpacking in the wilderness.
It was a wild adventure.
And just had some crazy things happen. Like I hitchhiked for the first time in my life to get from Lake Macdonald Lodge to Apgar because I had to get on the red bus to be able to get back to the car, to be able to get us back to the campground.
He hasn't done the video yet, so stay tuned for that. It was really a wild ride.
It really was. I left in the dark out of the campgrounds.
With grizzlies everywhere.
With grizzly. There was a mother grizzly there, had been sighted the day before in that campground. And so I hiked out in the pitch black for the first hour.
Without me and David.
And made it to the Lake Macdonald Lodge to find out it was closed and the red bus tour had been moved from there to 9 miles away to Apgar Visitor Center. So that's why I hitchhiked. And that was really crazy. I get out on the road and it probably wasn't 4 cars that went by. I probably didn't go 100 feet before a young lady stopped. She was headed out of Glacier National Park and she took me right down and dropped me off there. And then it was neat because the red bus tour was only supposed to go to Logan Pass, and then they were going to drop me off there, and then I would have to run or hike another 4.5 miles to get to the car. And they really took care of me.
Took you right to the car.
Yeah, it took me right to the car. And then when we did the other 24 miles, 3 days, we got to do 3 water crossings, which Karen had never done a water crossing, but they had already removed the footbridges.
Heard that and I thought, what? The ranger was telling us you might have to do a water crossing.
First one was pretty gnarly. The wind was blowing it was gusting like 35 miles an hour, and it was up to probably Karen's
rear end.
Yeah, rear end. And it was running pretty swift. But I mean, she wouldn't have drowned if she'd fallen in it or anything, but she would have definitely.
Froze to death.
Yes, that's glacier water. And so we ended up crossing that river once that day, which was pretty gnarly. Then the next day was an easy one. And then the third one, the last day, was pretty gnarly. But I got out in the middle of the river that morning and I was going to fall over. I couldn't stand up. So I ended up having to get back out.
Our son David said, okay, if he just falls over right now, I'd make a great video. It would go viral.
Of course, we had to climb up a bank then, an embankment, and then bushwhack to get back over to the trail.
But we did it.
So that was really neat.
It is now.
You know, one of the things we want to do also on our channel, though, is glorify the Lord. We have that personal relationship with Jesus Christ since I was 18 years old and Karen about the same age. We want everything in our channel to really glorify Him. And so if we just make great videos and encourage people to get out and have their own adventures and take people out there and show them the beauty of God's creation and don't point them to the Creator, I feel like we've kind of failed there. So that's one of the things that we really wanted to share on this video, is that it's extremely important to us. And it's getting cold out here. You know, the wind is blowing. I bet it's like 50 degrees, maybe colder than that now. But it's almost time for supper. They do feed you up here. Oh, we got like 18 minutes.
It's really awesome here at
Leconte
Leconte Lodge.
Now, it is a hike to get here.
You should look it up on the internet.
We came to Alum, is it called Alum Cave Trail?
Yeah.
Alum Cave, yeah. Even though it's not really a cave, but they call it Alum Cave. And it's about,
It's a
they
cool
say it's
overhang.
5 miles and like 2,800 feet. It's more like 6 miles. And it's getting close to 3,000 feet. And so there's other routes you can take too, but they're even probably harder. This is probably the easiest route to get up here.
They say anyway.
They say Trillium Gap is easier. That's what I read, but then we talked to 2 different people on the trail today that said no, it is not easier. So, and I know the Rainbow Falls Trail, I've come that way. It's a lot longer. Plus, you come up
Isn't it pretty though?
It is beautiful, but you come up over 4,000 feet. You're getting close to a 5,000 foot elevation gain from the Rainbow Falls Trail. So all of them are, none of them are a cakewalk, I would say that, if you want to come. But it's hard to get a reservation up here too. You
Gotta
probably
think ahead and put on a reservation, a cancellation list. But this is not easy, but it's not that hard. I mean, it's doable. You take your time, but it's so worth it. It's type 2 fun, guys.
that for sure.
It's worth it.
So anyway, this is the last thing I want to say. Thank you for watching our videos. But I was looking the other day at our stats on our videos, and only about 4% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed. 96% of you are not subscribed. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That's kind of crazy. And then also give us a like, and then also a comment.
We would love to hear.
We love
feedback.
comments.
I love it.
I think we have answered every single comment we have gotten since we started this, YouTube channel. And we love comments about gear, about our hikes.
I love to hear people's opinions about places and stuff.
And just what you think about life in general. If you've got a question, I'd be more than happy to try to answer it with the limited wisdom that I have. So please give us a like, subscribe, a thumbs up, whatever. Leave us a comment. We love comments. But anyway, we're going to go eat.
Yes, and maybe we'll show a little bit about the inside of the dining room this time.
Maybe we can do that. That would be awesome. Because last time we were here in 2021, which is the other video I think is really good, it was COVID, so we couldn't go in the dining room at that time.
And after that, we're going to go head on over to, is it Point Myrtle, or what's it called?
It's
Cliff Top.
Myrtle Point and the Cliff Tops. We'll probably go to Cliff Tops this evening for the sunset, and Myrtle Point in the morning for the sunrise.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should be hiking out it tomorrow in the rain. That should be exciting.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't look forward to it at all. All right, we'll talk to you later. Let's go eat. Bye.